Hi everyone, I hope you're keeping well. Welcome to my channel. This is Yarmako Emmanuel, and today I just want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I pray that you get to enjoy this festive season with your family and friends. I hope that you get to feel the joy of the festive season. So today, I will basically be appreciating people who have really made my journey with autism worthwhile. And I have like a category of people that I really want to thank. You see, the first time I've decided to actually create this channel was to create awareness on autism among my community, among my people in South Sudan. And I had some people that actually helped me, and that is my support system, because in this journey we really need a support system for you to be on the track, for you to be for you not to feel overwhelmed, because sometimes it can be overwhelming. Autism means lack of sleep. Autism has a lot of tantrums. Autism has a lot of your child not being able to speak, and sometimes they can get frustrated, and in the process, it's really overwhelming, because you have to be there 24/7 for your child, to take care of them. Otherwise, they actually don't know, they don't understand the environment very well, as I've explained in my other videos. So if you go through my channel, you will see I've talked about how it manifests itself, how it affects and everything. So there are a few people who really stood up for me, and these are the people that I want to thank in this video, and to appreciate them for all the support, for all the love that they've shown me and my son. So the group that I did the videos with, I remember I did the one in Dinka language. I did it with Nyebak Chatpol. I did the one in Anuak. I did it with Alangi Ogut. And the newer one, I did it with Nyamaj. My wish and my plan is to do it in all our South Sudanese languages, so that all of us get to know about it. For those who don't speak English, so because my channel here, I'm actually doing it in English. So that is it. So for those few ladies that have helped me with the videos, thank you so much. I really do appreciate. The other group that I want to appreciate here today is the group that has been sending me articles on autism. Guys, those articles they're really helpful, because as a parent, as a caregiver of an autistic child, you see, it's up to you to go an extra mile, because mostly a therapist can advise you, and our kids most of the time they spend like 2 to 3 hours with the therapist. So this other time, most of the time is spent with us. So it is up to us to look for information. Personally, I've read a lot on autism for me to understand, because I never knew what autism was. I have never heard about it until my son was diagnosed with autism. So that was my first encounter with autism. So after that, I went on the ground and started looking for articles. So for those people who have been sending me, I appreciate you so much. And it wouldn't have been possible if I didn't come out and talk about these things. So all the information that you have been sending me is appreciated. Continue sending them for me. It will be helpful in one way or the other. The other group that I want to thank is the group that like this year, like right now we are in December, and you see it's that time of the year when you buy gifts and presents for our children. Honestly, this year I didn't get to spend not even a single cent on my child, all because of some good well wishers who really send in things for my child. I really can't take it for granted, guys. Thank you so much. You know yourself. There are people who have sent in money. There are people who have sent for me. One of my sisters in Australia, she actually had an autistic child, and there were some toys that they were no longer using. She had all sent them over to me. Guys, I can't take it for granted. Thank you so much, my sister, for that. It's a gift that me and my son do really appreciate. And by the way, those toys, those sensory toys that we are supposed to play with our kids, by the way, they're quite expensive. So for someone to sacrifice their own just to give to your child, it means really a lot to me. Thank you so much for that. I also want to thank those ones who have sent in the best wishes and to my son, I thank you so much. I really do appreciate. I cannot take it for granted, guys. um, I really don't want to mention names, but you know yourself. Thank you for all that you are doing, and keep being kind. You see, this journey of ours, guys, is full of challenges. It's really full of challenges. You really need people around you to give you that encouragement, to give you that support. Because sometimes we lose it. Sometimes it becomes hard trying to deal with a child that doesn't understand themselves or the environment, and the only way they can communicate is through crying and tantrums. It's really draining. Autism is full of lack of sleep. It's full of, kids. Sometimes they can be so, like mine. Sometimes he can be so arrogant. He will just come, like, when he's not happy or when something is bothering him, he will come and slap you. Sometimes even if he's not slapping you, me as a parent, I feel so bad just seeing my child looking so helpless, and you can't help. You really end up questioning God, and a lot of things go on. But with the support of the right people around you, you can always get rejuvenated and then continue with the journey. So for all you guys that have sent in your love, your support, it's really appreciated. That's what I think every mother with a special child need. Because honestly speaking, you will never understand the world unless you're there yourself. So the best that you can do to them is just be kind, just be of an encouragement to them. So that is that. So today, I will mention few of my friends who really stood out for me in this year 2020. This year is actually my first year staying with my child here in South Sudan. And when I brought him in, I had to do a lot of changes. I had to do, because with the autism, you need to stick to routine, and you really need to be consistent, and you really need to watch out. Like for him, in the beginning, it was really bad, guys. It was bad. Because most of the time he was crying, he wasn't sleeping well at night, and I have to. Sometimes he would wake up at 2 and stay up to 5, not sleeping. And me, I have to wake up at 6, prepare myself, then go to work. You can imagine, and you haven't slept well. I have to make sure that I'm doing my work, because that's the only way I can support myself and him. So I can't risk doing my job, and so it became really too much. But I had to do a lot of changes, even to with his diet and everything. Like right now in my house, our diet is usually based on what he eats more than even what we can eat, and some things that we know, like he's not supposed to be put on any sugary food or any sugary drinks. So those things like sodas, things like juices, in my house, they are not there. So imagine, we don't get to enjoy them. I only get to enjoy them outside, and that is where some of my friends really come in. I remember when Yom was here, Yom Mangar, when she was here, there was a time she was here for a few months. Anytime I go to her house, I always tell her, please just spoil me with sweet things, because I really miss them. I don't get to eat them, because here, if you start eating those things, he would also want to eat, and if you refuse him to eat them, that will be the beginning of a fight. That will be the beginning of another tantrum. So we stopped altogether. So for us, it's a rule: if you want to enjoy any sweet treats, you go outside. You don't eat them from the house. So for me, I used to do that in Yom's house, and I would go there, drink all the sodas that I want, drink, eat all the biscuits that I want. I will go actually binge there in her house. The other place that I used to go for these sweet treats, mostly, it's Alangi Good's house. That's also another place where I would go and eat, spoil myself silly the way I want. And my sister, Amir Nyal, she's just my neighbor here. That was the place I used to go and sleep. Yeah, because I remember, children with autism, there are times they can be super hyper. You can imagine, your child can just decide a whole week he's not sleeping well at night. He will either sleep early, then wake up at 2, or not even sleep. He will just be waking, he will be awake from evening up to around 2. Then you have to sleep like for 3 hours, then go to work. And imagine, You know how an adult can be grumpy when they have not slept. So those days when he's calm, when he's just okay, I will leave him here in my house. Then I'll go to Amir's house. That's where I used to go and sleep, by the way. And I would sleep. And I really can't take that off for granted. Nyagnel, thank you so much, my sister. She's my little sister. Thank you so much for that. You know, you thought that it was nothing, but to be honest, it meant so much to me. I would sleep there. She would leave me her room. I would sleep peacefully. I would sleep as much as I want. That's one thing I can't take for granted. The other person that I really want to thank today is Nibak Chatpol. Nibak Chatpol has been really my prayer partner. We prayed with her. We've cried together. She has really been an encouragement. You know, sometimes, you know, God, that's one thing now I'm beginning to believe, that God cannot give you something you can never handle. As much as He has given me this condition with my child, He has given me the right people around me. People have really been there for me. Nibak is one person that who will always pray for me. I also used to go to her house, we pray together, we fast, and she always tells me, your child will be fine. You know, it's so encouraging. So that's why I cannot take it for granted. I also want to thank Nyamaj. Nyamaj has also been there. She has also been visiting. These guys, you see, every time they come, and you see the good thing about all these women that I'm mentioning, these are people who personally come to my house. These are people who are the first people who came. I remember also Pastor Abu Justin Yat. She also used to come here to my house. We would pray. And I remember in the beginning, they saw really things were hard because my son was just all over the house. He was really very restless. He was really super hyper. But after some time, after I worked on him, doing a lot of changes with his diet, you know, making sure that making sure that he was feeling loved and calm. He became calm with time. And these women, they always came and they always encourage me. Yeah, you're doing so well. This boy has really changed. And you know, it really encourages you. It encourages you to do more. You feel like, you see, whatever effort that I'm putting in is working. Like no effort is wasted. So this is what my support group has really done to me. The other people that, of course, I stay with my family members. To be honestly, they have really been good. I remember the first few months that I was staying here with my son. I actually stay with my parents because I just recently got divorced and I'm a single parent. So I stay with my people, with my relatives. I remember the first time this boy was brought here to stay with me. He used to cry a lot. So we usually used to take turns in taking him for a walk. My cousins will do it, and sometimes even my own uncle used to do it. My father's follower. And when there was a time he took my son, he went with him, they walked. Then that evening he came, he slept, he didn't cry at night. So the following morning my uncle came and called me. He said, hey, this Moinbor, now we have known his secret. If that is the problem, if his problem is for us to be taking him for a walk, my daughter, you're going to be sleeping in this house. Because guys, that entire month, almost, I would say, like almost the whole month, I wasn't sleeping. Like the first 5 months I spent with him in Juba, trust me guys, I wasn't sleeping well because he was crying most of the time. So that time when my uncle took him out and he didn't cry that night, he was so happy. So every evening after he comes from work, we would take him for a walk. You know, and it became a responsibility. It became a collective responsibility to take care of him, which was really good. I also want to thank my therapist, Florence. She's really such a nice lady. She's very patient. She has really worked with my son. Even she would come extra hours in the house, work with him from home, and I've seen that it really has made him really become. Anyone who have seen my child when I first brought him here and now, you know, will attest to the fact that the boy has really changed, and I thank God for that. The other part was my house manager, because okay, I stay with my two cousins, but they also go to school. So whenever they're in school, he will always remain with my house manager. Mama Joy, she has really been an excellent woman. But then Mama Joy is actually the third woman that I have hired this year to manage my house for me and to keep my son busy whenever I'm at work, because sometimes people here, everybody go to work, and also my cousins are also in school. So sometimes we just leave her with him, and she's able. And sometimes this the therapist now come in to do the activities with him and then leave him. That lady, she has really been very supportive. And in fact, many people don't know, but she's actually she's from Kuku. This lady, I wasn't even able to work with my own tribe, which are the Dinka people. But her, she managed so well. I did. By the way, it was my first experience, and I'm beginning to feel like, you see, this thing of us South Sudanese thinking, the tribal thing didn't even work. She was very comfortable with my child, and she really took good care of him. So I'm really grateful for that. And also my mom. My mom has really been very supportive. I remember the first few months my boy was here. She was here with us until that time when we lost one of my uncles. That's when they went home for burial. So they're still doing the final prayers before she comes back. But during that time when she was here, she was really very supportive. And the other part, I remember when she went back home, she used to send for us fresh fish, because I hate to change my diet, actually, diet for my child. It was completely changed, and we stopped. For them, you don't give them processed food. So I was only doing fresh, fresh food. I was doing a lot of fish and chicken. And you see here in Juba, they were quite expensive, especially the chicken was quite expensive. So my mom used to send it for us from Yedo. And even my grandma sometimes will even send for us. They will put them in the plane and then they will deliver them. Really, it really made things cheaper for me. Because you can imagine, a good chicken here in Juba, fresh, like the local chicken, is going for 10,000. You getting to spend that one every other. That was literally unmanageable for me, so I couldn't. So she would send for us really fish. Sometimes she would even fry them, send them over to me. So those people, they really made my year, and I cannot take it for granted. So that is why I'm here, just to thank each one and every one of them that has really stood out for me. And you see, guys, this journey, I just want to encourage people to be there for these mothers, because you cannot make it on your own. You really need a support system. You need people who understand you, who understand that you need help, who understand that sometimes you also get tired, and as you get tired, you need somebody to come and take over from you. And this is what some of these people have done to me. I also have this another friend, Vicky. Vicky has been there for me. Sometimes she used to come to the house, and then, like, we can't keep the boy in the house all the time. We have to take him out for a walk. So we would go, because okay, right now I actually don't have a car, so it was really hard for me to go for road rides with him. That particular time, we would only take him for a walk just within our surrounding. But Vicky made sure that we would go for those rides with her, which I'm really grateful for. Vicky also, sometimes when I get too consumed by my son, she would just come one evening, just whisk me out for evening dinners. Then we would come back, because in most cases, you see, because you were I work 9 to 5 job. So by the time I come back to the house, I would usually want to take over and at least try now to manage him, because you can't leave him to people the whole day. They can also get exhausted. So sometimes she would just allow me come take care of him. Whenever he's already asleep, then she will come, maybe take me out for dinner, and then we come back. Okay, I really thank you for that. You and your sisters, you've really been amazing. You've really been very supportive to me, and I really cannot take it for granted, my dear. So that's what I have for today. It's just to appreciate all those people that has really stood up for me, who have really been there for me. So thank you so much. There's a lot more that I'll be doing next year. I'll be doing a lot of awareness activities. I'll be involving a lot of our local community, so that we know exactly people know exactly these things are happening. Because personally, I've decided I'm not going to hide my child. I'm not going to be victimized for my child condition. I'm not going to to go and just put my child aside. There's so many things that people really, the way people fear any form of disability. Personally, I'm not going to take it. I'm going to work on my child, and I'm going to do my part. I'm going to leave this other part to God. Whatever that I can do, I'll manage. The one that I cannot do, I just leave it to God. But I'm not going to sit and watch my child and not be able to help them. So I'll create a lot of awareness on this. I will go deeper to the communities. See these kids, they need people need to know what they're actually suffering from. You see, like for me, this journey, by the way, even like from the beginning, the first time my child was diagnosed with autism, you know, it was very hard for me to even accept. It took me time, and right now, getting to talk about it has made the lot easier for me. Getting to talk about it right now, like anywhere that I go to with my child, I just try to explain to people. I don't, even if they're giving the negative comments and everything, I will just take my time to explain to them, because maybe because they don't know. The other day we went for a Christmas photo shoot. So you know, for him, he doesn't like to sit in a public place because sometimes it's too noisy, and they don't like noisy places. So I went, I talked to the to the camera people, I mean the manager. I told them, this is my condition. Please, if you can take my photos of my child, then you go away. So you know, people there didn't want to give me the chance. Like, of course, I found them there, but explained after I explained to them, people imagine they understood. But I remember the first time I remember I took him for photo shoot during his birthday. People there were telling me, why are you even bothering to bring a child like this? You know, the first time I got so annoyed. So I left. I didn't even take the photos. But this time around, I explained to them, and because right now I'm more confident. I've seen me talking about this has given me more confidence to actually deal with my child better. Me talking about this has helped other people to help me with information that can actually empower me. So it's good. It is a good thing. So we are going to talk more about this thing so that we teach ourselves, so that we learn, so that we know. Because whatever that you know, by the way, cannot be hard for you to understand. It will be very easy. You will not judge it. So thank you so much for joining me. We are going to do a lot on this journey. See you in my next video. Bye bye.